Welcome to the Checkout Point, your quick dive into this week's e-commerce buzz with me, Alex, powered by Blicket. These 20 minutes pack the latest trends, news, and insights. Let's navigate the digital marketplace together. Ready? Let's go!
Hey folks, welcome back to The Checkout Point by Blicket.co, where we unravel the latest and greatest in e-commerce each week. I'm Max, coming to you slightly over-caffeinated as usual, and ready to dive into some really cool stuff we've got lined up today.
And I'm Rachel, so happy to be here with you all for week 12 of our podcast. Can you believe how fast this year is flying by? Just today I realized St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, and Easter isn't far behind.
Oh, definitely. Speaking of upcoming events, Rachel, did you catch the updates on the trade war situation with Canada, China, Mexico, and Europe? Sounds like it's stirring up quite the pot for e-commerce owners.
Oh, absolutely, Max. It's a real roller coaster in the international markets right now. Speaking of which, you guys have got to check out the latest blog post we dropped on Blicket.co. Maximize ROAS with superior UX. Blicket's proven strategies for e-commerce success. Super pumped to get into those strategies later on in the show.
Yeah, I saw that post, Rachel. Seriously good stuff. We've got a juicy lineup today, starting with a deep dive into how UX and ROAS are joining forces to turbocharge e-commerce. You won't want to miss these actionable tips.
Then we're tackling Amazon's new restock tool. We've got opinions, folks, and you'll hear them all. Plus, we're exploring the impact of all these global market shifts. It's going to be insightful, and knowing Max, probably sprinkled with humor, too.
Exactly. And don't forget, we're also checking out Shopify's latest big move with their acquisition of Vantage Discovery. AI-driven search enhancements? Yes, please.
I'm excited about the new Google innovations, especially that vision match feature in Google Shopping. And not to add more to your plate, but our discussion on AI and global trade today is going to be a game changer.
And with all that holiday spirit in the air, we might just throw in a bit of festive banter as well. Keep things light and fun.
So grab your favorite drink, maybe a green one for St. Patty's, and let's get this show on the road. You're tuning into the Checkout Point where e-commerce news comes alive.
First up, let's talk about making those digital dollars work harder for you. Stay with us. Hey everyone, Max here. And speaking of maximized returns, you'll want to check out our latest blog post on Blicket.co. It's all about the wonders of marrying user experience with return on ad spend.
Yeah, it's titled Maximize ROAS with Superior UX, Blicket's proven strategies for e-commerce success. Sounds a bit like a superhero team-up, doesn't it? UX and ROAS, the dynamic duo.
Exactly, Rachel. Most people concentrate a lot on just getting flashy ads out there. Making sure they catch eyes, which is important. But that's really just the tip of the iceberg.
Spot on. The blog dives into how crucial it is to not just pull them in, but also provide a seamless experience once potential customers click through. There's this stat in there, did you see it? That a well-designed user interface could potentially increase a website's conversion rates by up to 200%. That's massive.
Absolutely. And considering today's digital marketing climate, you can't afford to drop the ball on UX. Those click-throughs are expensive. You want to make each one count. And speaking of costs, it's interesting to consider the ongoing trade wars right now with Canada, China, Mexico, and Europe. It's really a crucial time to focus on conversion-friendly UX, as tariffs might influence online consumer behavior and pricing strategies, right?
Totally, and that's a vital point for our listeners who are navigating these e-commerce waters. It's all connected. Better user experience, better conversion rates, better absorption of any increased costs due to tariffs. Our blog post digs into some real actionable strategies on how to achieve that superior UX.
And hey, with St. Patrick's Day here and Easter on the horizon, it's a great time for e-commerce sites to spruce up their UX and prepare for that holiday shopping traffic.
For sure, holiday seasons are like the playoffs for e-commerce sites, and everybody wants to bring their A game. And you don't want your site to be the reason a customer leaves. It should be the reason they stay, and more importantly, convert.
Exactly, so make sure to hit up our blog at Blicket.co to get the full scoop on those strategies. We've laid out some step-by-step insights which, trust me, you don't want to skip out on.
Yup, and while you're there, let us know what you think. Drop a comment, send us a tweet, light up that bat signal, whatever floats your boat. We're excited to hear how you guys leverage these tips to bump up your e-commerce game.
Remember, it's about creating a seamless journey right from that first click on your ad all the way to the checkout. Happy tweaking those digital spaces and watch those ROAS figures climb. Check this out, Rachel. Amazon is giving its sellers restock suggestions now based on their demand forecasting. Super cool, huh?
Oh, like a weather forecast, but for online shopping storms, right? That's pretty clever. But I'm wondering, how accurate do you think these forecasts are?
Good question. They're probably using some heavy-duty algorithms and a truckload of data to predict what's going to fly off the shelves, but, it's not perfect. Sort of like how you might sometimes need an umbrella, even when there's only a 10% chance of rain.
Exactly. And speaking of forecasts, have you heard that some sellers think Amazon might be a little too optimistic with their sales reports?
Oh, really? Like they're seeing numbers that make them go, if only?
Yup, that's the one. It sounds a bit disappointing. I mean, if you get all pumped thinking you've hit the jackpot, then realize it's just an overstatement. Bummer, right?
Totally. It's like thinking you scored the winning basket, but you were actually just throwing air balls. But hey, shifting gears a bit, did you hear about the dilemma with handmade goods in the FBA program?
Oh, I just have to jump in here. Yes, and it's a real headache for those crafty sellers. They're wondering how Amazon should reimburse them for lost inventory. It's tricky because every piece is unique, not like mass-produced widgets.
Right, and these aren't just any items. We're talking about one-of-a-kind handmade crafts. Reimbursing them is not the same as replacing a pack of light bulbs. It's more like trying to replace a leprechaun's pot of gold on St. Patrick's Day.
True. Speaking of St. Patrick's Day, it's creeping up on us, and so is Easter. Plus, with all the trade war tensions with Canada, China, Mexico, and Europe, I wonder how all this will shake out for e-commerce folks. It seems like a storm brewing on several fronts.
Oh, absolutely. The effects could ripple out, impacting supply chains, cost calculations. You name it. It's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially for our big and small business listeners grappling with these global chess moves.
For sure. But what do you think about the restocking tool? Is it a game changer or just another gadget in Amazon's tech toolbox?
Rachel, I'm going to call it a potential game changer. For sellers juggling a million things, getting a heads up on what to restock could really cut down on the guesswork. Plus, it keeps them one step ahead in this super competitive marketplace.
I see your point, but I'm a tad skeptical. It's super helpful, no doubt, but it's got to work like a charm to really change the game. I guess like with any forecast, time will tell how well it predicts those shopping storms.
That's such a good point. And watching how all these new tools and challenges pan out will definitely keep things interesting. Hey, maybe it'll give us more spicy topics for our chats, right?
Absolutely, and I'm all here for it. Let's keep our eyes peeled and see how all these updates roll out.
Will do. And who knows? Maybe we'll even find that mythical jackpot at the end of the rainbow this season. Hey, Rachel, did you catch that article about the new e-commerce tools that dropped today?
Oh, absolutely, Max. It's like every time I blink, there's a new gadget or gimmick promising to revolutionize the way we shop online. But honestly, some of these tools genuinely seem like game changers.
Right? Check this out. They mentioned AI prompts for better product descriptions. Imagine, instead of spending hours trying to write the perfect blurb for your products, you've got an AI doing the heavy lifting.
Wait, seriously? That's pretty cool, but I'm not entirely convinced. I mean, can AI really capture the essence of a product like a human can? I guess it would depend on the AI's training, but still.
I see your point, but think about smaller shops that can't afford a fancy copywriter. This could totally level the playing field. And speaking of which, there was this other piece about margin hacks for cash-strapped e-commerce stores.
Oh, that's a timely topic, especially with all the budget tightening going on. What's the scoop there?
Well, it's all about cutting costs where you can, right? Streamlining logistics, using more cost-effective materials without sacrificing quality. They say a penny saved is a penny earned.
That reminds me, Samsonite has been killing it with their e-commerce strategy. Did you read about their growth last year? It's like they've packed their bags for success and aren't looking back.
Ha ha. Nicely put. And part of their success might be linked to how they utilize tools like Flexport. Yeah, that company that's expanding its AI tools and logistics strategy. It's all connected. These tools aren't just about selling. They're revolutionizing how products travel around the globe.
Exactly, Max. And speaking of traveling, the ongoing trade wars with Canada, China, Mexico, and Europe are definitely throwing a wrench into the works. I was just reading how it could affect shipping times and costs, which means e-commerce owners need to stay sharp.
True, and not to forget, today's St. Patrick's Day. I mean, that's got me thinking about the Easter rush coming up too. Seasonal spikes like these really test those e-commerce strategies.
Absolutely. And on that note, this whole ecosystem of new tools and strategies could be a lifeline for many stores during these busy times. The trade wars, seasonal demands, it's a lot to juggle without some technological help.
Definitely. It's about finding those little pots of gold in terms of efficiency and cost savings, right?
Oh, for sure. And I guess the big takeaway for me is the innovation doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon, which is just super exciting for consumers and producers alike.
Agreed. Always more to explore. Well, that wraps up our tech talk for today, Rachel. Ready to dive into our next trending topic? So, Rachel, have you heard about Shopify snapping up Vantage Discovery? These guys are like the wizards of AI search, straight out of the magic labs at Pinterest.
Oh, absolutely, Max. It's such an interesting move for Shopify. It got me wondering how this is going to shake things up for all the e-commerce platforms out there, especially with how AI can supercharge search capabilities. It sounds like a game changer.
Exactly. And fun fact, did you know that with better search tools, shoppers can find exactly what they want way faster? It's like having a personal shopping assistant who knows precisely where everything is.
That's super helpful. I mean, who hasn't lost minutes of their life scrolling through pages and pages of products, right? But here's what I'm wondering. How does this play into the whole big picture for Shopify, especially considering their stocks took a bit of a tumble recently?
Great question. I saw that too. They were down 19.9% since their last earnings report. But with this new tech jazz jazzing things up, I think there's a solid chance for a rebound. It's like harnessing the power of AI could be their lucky charm. Speaking of lucky charms, happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way.
Ha, thanks, Max. And that totally makes sense. The blend of festive days and innovative tech. Switching gears a bit, I've also been reading about how entrepreneurs are gearing up for 2025. Apparently, dropshipping on Shopify is expected to get even easier and more efficient.
Oh, dropshipping. That's definitely a buzzword around my house. My cousin tried setting up a store last summer. Now, if dropshipping is getting a facelift, it could really open doors for folks like my cousin to jump back in, gear up, and get selling without the hassle.
Definitely, it's all about making e-commerce as smooth as butter. But then, toss in the current trade tension with Canada, China, Mexico, and Europe. It's like a real curveball for all the international sellers on platforms like Shopify.
Wait, seriously? That's a lot to juggle. With St. Patrick's Day here and Easter around the corner, plus this trade war jazz, businesses really need to stay on their toes.
Absolutely, Max. It's about adapting quickly and smartly. E-commerce isn't just about having a good product anymore. It's about navigating these global changes and using platforms like Shopify to stay agile.
Agility is the name of the game. And speaking of the game, with AI like what's coming from Vantage Discovery, Shopify's not just playing, it's changing the rules.
For sure, it'll be super interesting to see where this all goes. For now, though, I'm keeping an eye on how all these changes help everyday entrepreneurs make their mark.
And we'll keep you posted on all that, folks. Stay tuned, stay smart, and keep innovating, right, Rachel?
Right, Max. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, Rachel, have you heard about the latest gadget Google's been cooking up in its tech kitchen?
Oh, are you talking about that new Vision Match feature in Google Shopping?
Exactly. I mean, imagine you're scrolling through your feed and you spot this super cool lamp that's just perfect for your desk. But oops, no clue where to buy it. Now, thanks to Google's AI Vision Match, you just snap a picture and bam! It shows you where to find it, maybe even in greener pastures. Just perfect for St. Patrick's Day, huh?
Nice pun, Max. But seriously, that sounds like a total game changer for shopping. It's kind of like having a super smart shopping buddy in your pocket.
Exactly. And speaking of smart, Google's not stopping there. They're opening up Gemini Deep Research to free users, although it comes with a few limitations.
Wait, seriously? That's huge, but here's what I'm wondering. What kind of limits are we talking about?
Well, from what I've gathered, it's mainly about usage caps. They're giving access, but not letting you go wild with it.
Oh, that makes sense. Keep it in check, but still super generous. And speaking of Gemini, did you hear it can now use your Google search history to power its AI answers?
That's like having a brainy assistant who remembers all the random stuff you've ever been curious about. But, it's replacing Google Assistant entirely, right?
Indeed, it is. Honestly, I have mixed feelings about that. I'm kind of attached to my Google Assistant's voice.
I hear you. But imagine the upgrade, right? Gemini's buzzing with all sorts of new capabilities.
True, and with all this innovation, SEO pros are on their toes. Google's Mueller was even cautioning them about swift changes in business needs due to all these tech updates.
And speaking of business needs, with the ongoing trade war with countries like Canada, China, and even our neighbors down in Mexico and across the ocean in Europe, e-commerce owners might need to buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride, especially with supply chain tweaks and tariffs impacting where and how we can sell our stuff online.
Definitely, the global scale of things always has a way of trickling down to our shopping carts, both digital and real-world ones. It feels like these changes could spin around faster than Easter eggs during an egg hunt.
Absolutely, and that's the fascinating bit, right? The blend of global events and local tech advancements all coming together. Could stir quite the conversation at our next family Easter brunch. Imagine passing around the gravy and discussing Google's AI domination.
Now, that would be a holiday to remember. But on a serious note, it's going to be interesting to see how all these developments play out in our daily tech lives.
No doubt about it, Rachel. And with everything so intertwined, it's like every move on the tech chessboard affects the pieces directly and indirectly around the globe. This conversation definitely puts into perspective how interlinked and dynamic the tech world is. Always something new around the corner, or should I say, always another Easter egg to discover.
Absolutely, Max. I can't wait to see what Google comes up with next. It's like watching a thrilling tech series unfold.
So, Rachel, guess what? The folks at Adobe just dropped some pretty nifty info recently. They're saying that these generation AI tools are seriously boosting online retail traffic. That's like the internet shopping superhighway getting extra lanes.
Oh, absolutely, Max. And it's fascinating to see how retail is morphing with these AI innovations. It's kind of like when you're playing a video game and you get that super speed power-up that just zips you through levels.
Exactly. Speaking of power-ups, did you hear about NVIDIA's latest move? They've named their next-gen chips after Vera Rubin, the astronomer who uncovered dark matter. Now that's what I call star power.
I love that. Not only is it super cool to honor a trailblazing scientist, but it's also a smart play in branding. It adds an inspirational twist that might just attract more attention, especially from aspiring scientists, you know.
Definitely, and it's all about that big picture thinking. But here's something else that's interesting. DocuSign's shares surged 14% on the back of strong AI-boosted earnings. It's like everyone's jumping on this AI-driven bandwagon.
Sure, the trend is clear. AI is a game changer in the digital world. But here's what I'm wondering. Amidst all this AI buzz, how do things like the ongoing trade wars fit into the picture? Like with Canada, China, Mexico, and Europe? I mean, we're inching closer to Easter and everyone's buying all sorts of stuff.
You've got a point. Let's think about it. Trade tensions can really shuffle the deck for e-commerce. Higher tariffs could mean higher costs, right? And that might slow down some of that online shopping speed we love so much.
True, it could put a pinch on things, but also, these AI tools might help retailers find creative ways to keep prices down and maybe navigate through those choppy trade waters more smoothly.
Wait, speaking of navigating smoothly, have you done your St. Patrick's Day shopping yet? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Oh, you caught me. I actually just ordered some green decorations last night. Gotta feel festive, right? But I have to admit, I used a website that had some sweet AI recommendations. Made finding the good stuff a breeze.
There you go, folks. Whether it's boosting sales, powering new tech, or even helping us get ready for St. Patty's Day, AI is weaving its way into practically everything. And who knows? These advancements might just be the lucky charm e-commerce needs to thrive, even during tough times like trade wars.
Well, let's keep an eye on how all this tech unfolds and how it really impacts our shopping carts and our wallets.
Okay, Rachel. Big news in the retail world. Forever 21 just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I mean, that's a pretty big shakeup, huh?
Absolutely, Max. It's surprising but not totally unexpected, you know? The retail scene has been shifting like crazy lately. Now they're looking for a buyer to keep their U.S. stores and website in operation. Kind of like hanging on by a thread.
That's right, and it's super interesting because it shows just how tough the retail sector can be. Those giant, flashy stores at the mall, They might look solid, but it's a challenging game. It's like one day you're on top of the world, and the next you're scrambling to find a lifeboat.
Oh, and speaking of challenges, did you see the FTC has now said it's got the resources to pursue Amazon for deceptive practices? That's quite the turnaround.
Totally. It's like the referee just decided the game isn't over after all. I think it's a game changer for how big tech companies are going to be handled moving forward. Kind of throws a wrench in the works, doesn't it?
It really does. And then you throw into the mix Klarna, the buy now, pay later lender filing for a US IPO. Financial strategies are clearly shifting across the board. It feels like everyone's trying to find stable ground.
It's like a business version of musical chairs, honestly. And here's a fun little twist. Today being St. Patrick's Day and all, it makes me wonder how much luck versus strategy plays into these big corporate maneuvers. Any thoughts?
Well, I'm all for a bit of luck, Max, but these moves seem all strategy to me. But speaking of holidays, with Easter coming up and all this talk about tariffs and the trade war with countries like Canada, China, Mexico, and Europe, it's got to be on the minds of a lot of e-commerce players.
Oh, no doubt. Imagine you're an e-commerce store owner right now. You wake up, grab your coffee, and new tariff alert. That could totally mess up your pricing strategy, inventory decisions, you name it.
Right, and let's not forget the customers. People are always looking for a good deal, especially now, and these financial maneuverings could really influence shopping decisions. It's all interconnected.
Exactly, Rach. It's a big tangled web of business strategies and financial decisions. Companies are like tightrope walkers, trying not to look down right now. But hey, could be worse. Could be me trying to cook a holiday dinner. Now that's a real disaster waiting to happen.
Let's hope it's not that drastic, Max, but honestly, it's a fascinating time in business. And I'm curious to see how these companies will pivot and adapt in the coming months.
Couldn't agree more. Hey, you got to stay tuned, keep watching and learning. That's the beauty of it, right?
Absolutely, Max. Always more to discover.
Well, that wraps it up for today, folks. Week 12 of the e-commerce news coming to you right in the middle of St. Patty's Day cheer. Thanks for hanging out with us today. It always flies by too fast.
Absolutely, week 12 already. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Today's journey through the nitty-gritty of e-commerce, especially exploring how holiday shopping like Easter might get jumbled up in this trade war mess, was super insightful. Max, did any specific moment stand out for you today?
Oh, definitely the part about Shopify's new AI-driven search tech. It's like every retailer's sci-fi dream come true. Before next week, I'll probably try to convince my phone to do my shopping with all these smart techs we discussed.
That'd be something to see, Max. For me, it was diving into Google's Vision Match feature. It amazes me how shopping is becoming more about technology meeting personal needs. It's like our gadgets are starting to know us better than we know ourselves.
Creepy, but true. And hey, if anyone out there enjoyed our banter and maybe even found my jokes more delightful than terrible, we'd love it if you joined us again next week. We'll be digging deeper into e-commerce innovations and who knows, maybe we'll even mention how Easter eggs can avoid getting held up at customs.
Yeah, don't miss it. Oh, and don't forget to check out blicket.co for more cool resources. We've got everything to keep you ahead in the digital marketplace.
Till next time, keep your browsers open and your shopping carts full.
Take care and keep questioning the digital world around you. Catch you all next week.
Bye for now.